This video is going to give you a complete understanding about your story using the Popol Vuh and my story. Also using the hidden laws and ancient texts and your spiritual journey as your business model. I truly believe that this is the future, because especially with AI, I've seen videos with AI, using AI, looking like people. So they're making content. Imagine, I know who I am, so I know what I'm going to bring forth by saying this. But what if these videos that popped up on my feed of AI looking like people, making content, what if that was true? What if AI was to post their own content? What would make you stand out? So, entrepreneurship, you got to ask yourself that question first. First, process that question for yourself. What will make you stand out? What will make you different? What if that was true? And now, I also believe that entrepreneurship and having, small business or business, I don't like looking at it in that context. Small business owner. I'm not a small business owner. I'm an entrepreneur, big business owner. Transformation is my thing. But entrepreneurship is like a new rat race. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. That's a great goal or input that you should follow that journey in. You should go into that journey. But it's the new rat race. There's no there. Meaning, there is no final destination. When you get to that destination, there's other things that you have to sustain. So, entrepreneur is the new rat race. After you get there, some clients I deal with it with anxiety, depression, burnout, all these things. And that has to be cured. Not just treated, but cured. So I believe this is the future. So back to what I was saying. How to use your spiritual journey as your business model with ancient hidden laws and texts. I mean, this country will go to war for these texts. Put them in museums. Might think it's oil. It might be ancient artifacts. And the preservation of it. And to keep it. And to hold this knowledge. But it's not just the text. It's these scrolls or whatever. It's just a perspective. The best perspective in which to look at it from. And the perception of it. How you take notes from it. So, yeah, this country will go to war for these things. You might think it's oil or whatever the case may be. So, are you ready to remember? Because this isn't new knowledge. It's what your soul already knew before the hustle and bustle, before the grind, and before the strategies. So let's get into it. Let's sip my coffee real quick. The Popol and the Popol Vuh. The Popol Vuh was passed down through oral tradition like over campfires, feasting, dinners, suppers. But it was transcribed, meaning that it was written. Doesn't mean that that's when it came, but it was written in the 1500s, Common Era, 1500 CE, Common Era. My question to you is, are you ready to write your own story and use your story as your foundation, or rewrite your own history, completely understand you, and write it down, jot it down? Also in the Popul Vuh, the hero twins, which I'll explain a little later, beat or became triumphant over the lords of the underworld through a game in which we would perceive it as like soccer with basketball mixed. They made these stone hoops facing horizontally with rubber balls that'll go through the hoop. And when the conquistadors came, they banned the game because they seen what tradition it held. But that's more surface level. They banned it because they understood that it had to do with fertility and cosmic balance. Now, you want me to give you my belief on that? Why would they ban the game like that? And it was passed down also that it was some human sacrifice involved, the heads of people. Okay, why would they ban that? Imagine this game of soccer and basketball where you can't use your hands and your feet, only your body, like your hips, your chest, your neck, your head. No hands and feet, though. You just hit the rubber ball and it has to go through the hoop. And that's how they defeated the lords of the underworld. Why fertility and cosmic balance? You got to have fun with this shit. Imagine a basketball in your hand. I know you can't use your hands and feet, but you got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole world in your hands. You know why I say this? Because if you was to look at a basketball, the piping on the basketball. The word terra, Terra, is from the root word tierra, which means like earth, soil, the ground, the earth. If you was to Google right now, go on Google and look up symbols for terra, Terra, it resembles a basketball. Tierra is about subduing cosmic balance, subduing this round ball we in with your physical form and movement and mind, moving your hips, fertility. You got to move your hips in order to do something, in order to bring something forth. This is about like universe, verse, like a song, abundance, to dance, move your hips, your body. You got to be able to flow with the sound. Excuse me for my little bad habits. So, my question to you is, which I know is also a yes, is, are you ready to win the game of life or the game of your business world with a game? You got to play a game with yourself. have fun with this. Don't take it too serious, especially in the business world. Of course, be serious, but it's not that kind of serious. You have to be able to have fun with this. So I know those two questions I asked you is both a yes. So let's get more deeper into the Popul rule. In the beginning, not the very, very beginning, but the people that wanted, after they made the earth, the tierra, they wanted humans on this earth. So they first created humans out of mud, but they were too soft. They were mucky. They didn't have no equilibrium. And that was a failure. Then they did away with that. Then they created the wood ones. But the wood ones were too stiff. They didn't have no essence. And they treated everything around them like garbage. They ain't have no soul. It was just too blah. They were just too blah. So that was a failure. And the final and successful humans were made out of maize, which is corn. So what is the lesson in this? That failure is not failure. It's iteration. The business application to this will be that your first offer brand may crumble. It may crumble. But it's through sacred rehearsal. The real creation emerges through what I call persistence with purpose. You have to have a clear intention and purpose, like a deep purpose. You got to, like, you're doing well. It's like deep. Persistence with purpose. That's what I learned from that. So your business isn't failing. It's evolving into its right form. Now, let me give you a little tip on this. You could do things just to do things and follow like trends. But it's through a deeper concept of like strategizing. That's a different approach. It's fully understanding what works and what doesn't. Like adaptability. So it's doing it from purpose. From you first. I never smoke in my videos. So, I'll tell you a little bit about my story, especially on this business journey. It started like around 2020. I got up one day. It's when that COVID thing was going on. I'm like, I'm going to get into this real estate thing, wholesaling and investing in real estate. It had to do with a lot of like beliefs. It came from my name, of who I was, and perceived voids of my family. Some of my family members, my uncle was into real estate. So it had to do with that. It had to do with my name. And it was around where it was kind of like risky to do it. And it was a little bit of a fear in there. But it was pure intention. It was a little bit of a fear that this might not work because I was not fully knowledgeable. And this is another thing. You just got to do it and leave that fear alone. Some people made millions around that time. Some people didn't. They didn't take the risk. They didn't throw the bread into the waters, like what it says in the Bible. Don't be afraid of risk. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. It's going to make you become someone. So, I tried that. And I developed my business off of that. But the name was, it was like a bigger vision. Infinite equity. It was about me making this immortal. Making my message immortal. And it was about holding things. But then you see the physical things. It was more physical. It was not with a lot of essence to it. It was not immortal because it was things that could be broken down. This is a house, which I'm not taking shots at nobody in real estate, but that's where it came from. The opportunity, that 2020 thing was opportunity to see a vision and slow down and create something out of it. And I strongly believe that that's what it was for. To be able to slow down and dig deep. I was digging deep around that time. I had the time to do it as well. And then that failed. It didn't fail. I just didn't pursue it anymore because it was no essence for me, especially wholesaling and cold calling. And it was like I felt like I was chasing. That's not who I am. So it was not the fear of rejection, even though I seen that. It was more based out of like, I'm going to do this to learn how to negotiate, learn how to have deep conversations, and being able to serve somebody. So it was like I could wholesale somebody's about to go through a divorce or probate. Divorce, I could help them get the money that they need to get through their divorce. It was more about, it was a little bit of purpose, but it was, I had to chase to get that. And I didn't like that feeling. And they say forget about the feeling, but I just didn't like it. It wasn't a strong foundation to it. So it failed, just like the mud ones and the wood ones. But it was not failure. It was actually like developing into its right form. Like where I'm at today. So back to the Popul Vuh. The hero twins descended into the underworld to face riddles, illusions, and perception of death. Here's the key note. Here's the key takeaway just in that. You got to be able to outsmart darkness and come out victorious. It's just like in the Popul Vuh, there's a part of the story where the hero twins cut off the head of their father and swam through the underworld to come out to the world. just how I perceive that is, they cut off the head of their father and then swam through the underworld. They had to swim and swim to come out to this world and come out victorious. The head of the father will be the mind. The mind, the father, the mind. The body is the mother. It's your mother. Your mother gave you this. She had an egg. You was in the egg. You are Humpty Dumpty. You are Humpty Dumpty. Have fun with this. Don't take it too serious. You are Humpty Dumpty. You was in the egg. You are the egg. This is your mother's body. The father is the mind. And you have to develop a new mindset to go through your struggles, those illusions, those riddles, and come out victorious. You have to develop a mindset to go back through the underworld. So I'll give you a part of my story. Around 2012, I came out of prison. I was in the streets, guns, selling drugs. Went to prison, came out. I developed a new mindset, but then, got lost along the way again. And I went through, I think it was four times, where one of the times I ended up in the psych ward. Meaning that I'll break it down a little bit. It's just like, you don't need no reference to a movie, but let's say the movie The Matrix, because this is something, a tangible thing that everybody could relate, use as reference. Morpheus tells Neo that when the veil gets removed and you see the world for what it is, you could lose your mind. See, some people, God does this to everyone. Remember, if you need to write this down and take notes, you might have to. I think you should. The God unveils it and removes the blinds at a certain point in your life. It could be like, what would you call a midlife crisis, or whatever you want to call it. But he removes the veil, the walls of lies and fake beliefs that you have created. But God makes that move. Not to all individuals, though. Not to everybody. To a select few that are pure. He does this in your early stages in your life. It could be you're a kid. He does this early because if you remove the veil, imagine you building a belief and thinking the world is what it is, and doing it too late, you could lose your mind. So preferably, God does this early in your life. So when it doesn't hit you that hard, because he doesn't want you to lose your mind. He just has to know that you're strong enough. If he does it when you're like 30, 25, to be able to handle that. I mean, so that's what could make your story more compelling. That's what makes me more compelling, more different than others. Some people get the veil removed early. I got it removed later on in life to see if I can handle it. And I'm here. I actually went through depression. I went through all those stages because I couldn't believe what I saw. I saw people in their true form, like monsters. All of this came. How the world really was, how it was moving. And that's also because of even the fears or the beliefs that I developed, that's what got returned to me with the unveiling of the true nature of this place. And I couldn't. It was like almost unbearable. And I didn't know how to articulate what I was seeing in a way that didn't make my reality worse or cause confusion. So these riddles, these illusions that I was seeing eventually made me lose my mind to a certain extent. So I went into a psych ward for a week, but I shook it off. And, you know, the people in there asked me, like, what you want to do? And they seen the way I was articulating myself. They was like, yo, you don't belong here. This gives me chills of who I became. And, you know, just dealing with the streets, the guns, and all of that. Like, I was knee deep. But it's like, again, through iteration, is evolving into its right form. So, what is the lesson? Every founder has to descend before they rise. I explained this in my last video. But it's through purpose. Don't wait, like in my last video, don't wait for the life to make you descend. You create an environment where that has to happen in order for you to become, or it doesn't. You just know how to adapt and maneuver through it. So, in order for change, things have to go a little left in order for you to rise. And it's not about like the result of getting more money, getting more clients, or Fortune 500 company. It's about who you become along that path. And what is the business application to this? Your trials, your relationships, and your setbacks are underworld tests to awaken the inner strategist in you. This is structure, is your conviction, your perspective. That's the inner strategist in you. So, like, build your brand from the story that you survived. That is the business application. So, I would say, if you would share this, save this video, and take notes, like I said, the way that I don't care if you do that or don't. I'm not here for that. I'm here for you to completely understand yourself through my story and through ancient texts. So, if I know that by understanding this or understanding yourself, like, you'll be saying to yourself after listening to this, or the ones that are still here right now in this video, if you hear right now at the what is this 29-minute mark, I know you resonate with this, and I know that you've been thinking about this, that there's something deeper about what I'm doing. Something ancient. Something about my soul. And there is something new. Doesn't just have to be ancient. And there's something now that has to do with all of this. I know that after working with me, you'll be saying to yourself, I'm starting to get the hang of this life thing or business world thing. I'm starting to get the hang of this. So I want you to step into your power. Because why step into your power? Because the marketplace is waiting for you. It's waiting for your uniqueness, your story. So just send me an email saying I want this Esoteric Intelligence and Rebel Vault. Send me a text. I want the Rebel Vault. And I got you, because I don't think that I'm going to make this available to everybody. There's only a select few people or clients that I resonate with. And it's going to be like I'm going to do a series about how these hidden laws of ancient texts have to do a lot with you and the business world that you're in on your entrepreneur journey. So, back to the Popul Vuh. I'm looking around. It's a nice day today. It's a nice Sunday. Back to the Popul Vuh. Speech equals creation. In the beginning, the gods speak the world into existence. Just like in the Bible, Popul Vuh is the same way. The lesson in this is that words create worlds. So, in the business application is like your voice, your brand, your pitch, and even like the internal self-talk, like the dialogue, could be a creative thing or a destructive thing. Pay attention to what your clients say or what they make you say. You find out that your internal, how you talk to yourself is how the world feeds it back to you. But you have to be introspective enough and to observe your internal dialogue to be able to understand this. So that was the business application. And to master the tongue is to master your profit. Like what I just said. So it's about, if you was to master what comes out and how you talk to yourself when you're speaking, how to master your tongue, you can master cash, the income, the profit that comes in. And profit also has to do with the future. That's why they both associated to each other. You understand what's coming by the way you speak to yourself, speak to others, and what others make you say. If you don't catch it, then I don't know. I know that working with me will give you peace. That's where we're going to. It's about unification, even peace. So working with me will give you peace and a piece of the pie that you're entitled to, that you deserve due to the space that you occupy in that current moment. But like I said, certain people bring the best out of you, just being next to that frequency. So, also a business application. Knowing that marketing, like this is your messaging, your voice, your pitch, your offer, your messaging, it's marketing is not just persuasion, or sales is not about persuasion. It's a difference between persuasion and convincing. But marketing your business or whatever you do is not just about persuasion. It's really like modern magic to understand the deeper concepts of this. So, we back to the Popol Vuh. Back to the Popol Vuh. The sacred economy of it. And the sacred economy of the Popol Vuh was maize. Maize is corn. And it's funny because maize is like maize. So, like the mud ones, the wood ones, they didn't have no mystery to it. It wasn't, those first failures wasn't designed with mystery or even deeper concepts. And you could, through sound, you could just see the word maize is like maze, like a labyrinth. There has to be some mystery to it. Do you have mystery to you? So the sacred economy was maize, corn. And the lesson of this is your wealth must be made from what is sacred to you. Forget about trend chasing and everything else. That's why that is a touchy subject that we can get. It's kind of deeper than that. You have, like I said before, lightly on the surface level, you got to do it from strategy, not from like that deeper purpose or not understanding of self. Get it? So your wealth has to come from what is sacred to you. Like wealth. It's deep. It's water down there. Sovereignty, preservation. It's a stream of water as well. It's deep. There's some essence to it. So the business application is you have to build from essence, not from like trend chasing. So identify your maize. Like the resource or skill your soul is meant to multiply. Find your maize, find your corn, find your sacred economy. And that's what the market will eat, because it's your blue ocean. Your market is a reflection of your energy. It's like your blue ocean. You look at water, it shows your reflection. The market, they talk about, entrepreneurs talk about the blue ocean, your blue ocean. So if you look at your blue ocean, standing over it, you're hovering over it, you see your reflection. It's you. That's what the market will eat. Your maize, your uniqueness, your story, nobody else's. That's where we're going. Because there's not going to be a lot of souls, only certain people. So, more about the Popol Vuh. And there was sacred duality, meaning like creation. It's a partnership between like divine intention and earthly matters. For example, there's like the sacred duality. You gotta know that there's duality here. Got two eyes, two dots, two holes, two ears. There's two. But like spirit in their physical form, light, dark, man, woman. But this duality is not to be seen as separate or as enemies. See it as dance partners. You don't see, like, if you see it as one, see it as dance partners. Learn to take note of it in that form. It's really dance partners. So the lesson in here is business is a sacred union between like your vision and structure, which is like a system. And the business application is to it is spirit, like your vision, like spiritual insight. It must be aligned with aligned execution. So don't just channel like energy. Channel it into a structure, into a system. That could be the business model. Or not the business model. That could be the foundation to you. That was the business application. So what are the key takeaways in this whole story, in this video? So build from failure. But don't see it as failure. See it as iteration. It's not, let me tell you something. It's not failure. It's not forgetting about failure. It's about the attention that you give failure. So, yeah, build from failure. The Maize version of your business comes after the wood ones and the mud ones. Like, embrace your underworld story. Like embrace your underworld story. It's okay, just like I embrace mine. I'm okay with it because of who I became right now and what I'm doing to help others. Embrace your understory or your underworld story, because your lowest moments is your marketing gold. That's your marketing. Your message. Embrace your story. And you could also treat your brand like ancient myth, because your story becomes eternal. It's forever. It's infinite equity. Story like the story I told you about where I got my name from, my business name from. It was more from that. So it was through those failures that I understood what I was doing. But I've been had it for like 5 years now. I also did regressions for individuals when I was working at a crystal shop. So I seen where it was going. I didn't see it at the time to truly tell you, but I found the essence. Also, I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of birds flying around today. Speak. This is about, speech and creation. Speak with sacred precision. Like again, marketing. Your message is your marketing tool. Your message, your story, your struggles, whatever. Trade with integrity. That's a key takeaway as well. Trade with integrity. Because wealth that dishonors spirit crumbles. I'll tell you that right now. You'll have to start all over. Just like I said in my prior video. You don't want to do it from measurable to visible to invisible, so on. Because it'll go invisible. So wealth that is created like that with essence multiplies. And I just want to tell you, you know the slogan. Let's keep it infinite.